the documents to be prepared by the chief officer or the mate at load port while doing loading operations. This video is made by Master Mariner Amit Sangwan, and my YouTube channel is Master Mariner Amit Sangwan. If you find the video useful, please subscribe the channel and you can share the video. So first we'll see the documents required during the loading operation. So when you arrive at the load port, you will need to prepare a ballast report, which at many ports the surveyor asks. Then you have to prepare an ullage report, that is after the final completion of the loading. Then you will have the draft and cargo tank comparison log, which is done every hour, and then you have the hourly comparison log between the ship and the shore, and you have the key meeting for transfer operations, that is prior starting operations. The chief officer conducts a meeting with the loading master. This is also known as a key meeting. Then you have a document to be made for the last 3 cargoes to be carried, which were carried on board. Then you have an Excel sheet where you write down the O2 and H2S content in the cargo tanks on arrival. Then you have a document, overboard seals, which the surveyor marks the seals on the overboard valves, that is after the loading. Then you have to prepare a statement of facts, or also called as the time sheet. Then for ISPS purpose, you have to maintain a record for security petrol rounds. Then at the end of the loading, you have to prepare a slop certificate, and a slop certificate also prepared prior loading, so that whatever slops you have on board is written there. Then you have a temperature log for the water ballast pumps. This is during loading operation. Then you have a SMS checklist during operations cargo checklist, and the most important checklist, the ship shore safety checklist. And you have another checklist called as the prior cargo operation checklist, which you have to fill before you start the operations. So we will see these checklist documents one by one. First is the ballast report on arrival. So you make the ballast report. This is the tanks, and then you write the soundings and the volume, and this has to be signed by the chief officer. The surveyor may or may not sign this. This is not required at all the ports, but the surveyor asks for it at some ports. Similarly, you will have to prepare one departure ballast report, and you have to write the contents of the ballast tank. So this is the ballast report. Then you have to make one ullage report. So in the ullage report, once you have finished loading, you have to make this Excel sheet. Depends upon company to company and ship to ship. You may have an Excel sheet there, you have a company specific form, but normally on all the ships, all the tanker ships, you will find one programmed Excel sheet where you have to just fill in the ullages and the volumes, and the rest of the calculations will be done. But anyways, you should be familiar with how to do the manual calculations also. I have taken an example of this Excel sheet. So all the things marked in these blue columns have to be filled up with hand. So basically this section has to be filled manually, and this section will be automatically calculated. This Excel sheet is programmed. So you write down the ullages here of all the tanks. If there is a UTI correction, then you write down the UTI correction, and if there is any free water, you write down the free water in the free water is written in centimeter in sounding, and the volume of the free water. Then you have to take 3 temperatures. Now it depends upon port to port and surveyor to surveyor. Sometimes they want only 1 middle temperature, sometimes they want 3 temperatures for all the tanks. So you write down all the 3 temperatures. This is the average temperature, and this is the TOV. This TOV is taken from ullage tables, or if your lodicator is good, you can directly take this from the lodicator. So this TOV is filled up. So once this TOV is filled up, all this information is filled up, then you come on the Excel sheet here, and all this information is taken from the left column, and this calculation is pre-programmed and it is done automatically, but you should also be capable of doing this manually. So it will have the tank number, the cargo grade in with the tank, the ullage, if there is any water inside, the temperature, and then the TOV which you have written from the LH tables, then if there is any water, and then the gross observed volume, volume correction factor VCF, and gross standard volume and metric tons. So all this will come. Bottom you will have two figures before applying VF and after applying VF. These figures are there. So this is the LH report which you have to prepare. Then you have to also prepare a final stowage plan. Basically this can be linked to the same LH sheet, where this stowage plan will show the plan of the all ship tanks, and which tank contains what grade, and what is the ullage in the tank, what is the quantity of cargo in the tank, and how much % the tank is filled. So this final storage plan also you have to prepare. Then the third document which you have to prepare is the draft and the comparison log, which is done by the ship, and this is done to compare your UTI ullages and cargo and tank ullages, so that SAB ullages. So basically you are comparing if there is any fault in the SAB, then you can rectify it and you will start taking manual ullages. So this sheet is to be filled up. And the next is, then there has to be a key transfer meeting between the loading master and the chief officer prior to the operations, where all the information is exchanged between the loading master and the chief officer, where you discuss how many hoses or loading arms will be connected, what will be the initial rate, what will be the bulk rate of loading, what will be the final rate of loading, what will be the emergency signal, and who will stop the final stoppage. Will it be a ship stop or will it be a shore stop? Now that depends upon the stoppage will be by the ship, if the ship is restrained by the draft or by the quantity, otherwise the shore will stop. Then you have to write here the vessel's nomination of the cargo and other details like number and size of connections. Then the emergency signal by the terminal for stoppage, and the cargo particulars, the name of the cargo, the density, the temperature of the cargo, H2S in the cargo, and the distance of the shore tanks from the terminal. So all this information is being filled up here, so that the chief officer and duty officers are aware of all the details. Then it is signed by both the loading master and the chief officer after they have agreed on the rates and everything. Then you have to prepare a document of the last 3 cargoes which are carried on board. Sometimes the surveyor needs this, so last cargo, second last cargo, and third last cargo. Then before arrival, some ports they want the oxygen content and H2S content in the cargo tanks, so you will have to prepare the sheet for O2 content and H2S content. This is a requirement of the shore sometimes. Then you will have to prepare this sheet, a sealing overboard and sea valve sheet, sea valves, and this sheet is prepared after completion of the loading operation, when the surveyor seals your sea chest, cargo sea chest valve, and cargo sea chest valves. This is sealed and the seal is pulled, so this seal has to be intact when you arrive at the discharge port. So this is a proof that you have not done anything wrong with the cargo. Then you have a time sheet, or also called as a statement of facts. So all the information is filled up here, starting with the end of passage, and then all the information is required that is to be filled up here is the vessel anchored, ANOA tendered, anchor away, pilot on board, commence mooring, all fast, commence loading, completed loading, if there are any stoppages in the cargo, commencement of key meeting, and when was the ANORA accepted, when has the loading commenced, when was the sampling commenced, when was the loading completed, when was the alleging completed, and when were the documentation completed, when was pilot on board, when was commence and mooring and completed and mooring, and when pilot disembarked, and when was commencement of sea passage. So all these details are filled up here. And if in between, if there are any stoppages or any delays, you fill this in the remarks column. This is a very important document, and it is also a part of the charter's documents. Then you have the temperature record of the water ballast tank. You have to record all the temperatures, like how much was the vibration percentage, stop box temperature, upper casing temperature, and the lower casing temperature, and the bearing temperature. All this has to be noted down. This is noted down by the duty officers, so when they note down, they also compare the temperatures, that the temperature is not raised, otherwise the pumps will trip. So basically these are some documents, and then all these documents have to be prepared before you arrive. And then there is one checklist also known as pre-arrival checklist. This pre-arrival checklist has to be completed before you arrive the port, because there are certain checks which have to be done prior arrival to port. And yes, in the next video we will see how to make the loading plan. And if you find useful this video, then please subscribe this channel, Master Mariner Amit Sangwan. This is the YouTube channel, Master Mariner Amit Sangwan. And if you find it useful, please subscribe it, share this video. I am making this video basically for second mates who wants to appear for mates exams, and for second mates who are close to their chief mates promotion, so they can refresh when they are at home, they can study. In the next video, my previous video was how to make the stowage plan, and this is on cargo documents, and the next will be cargo documents required during discharge operations. And the next video I will make the loading sequence plan and the discharging sequence plan. And yes, there are LOPs also to be made, letter of protest. Normally the master is responsible to make the LOPs, but on ships it is master designates the chief officer to make LOPs. Now these LOPs are in a standard format by the company or by the charterers, and these LOPs are made on those specific forms. I have removed the specifications of the company from these forms because we cannot use that. I have used generic forms. Similarly, on the ship you will find company specific forms, and those has to be used. These are generic forms. This cannot be used, but these can be used for reference. Thank you for watching the video. If you find it useful, please subscribe.